Greetings! Welcome to our show, Ghosts are Near, as you can see, where we discuss various aspects of the paranormal and paranormal exploration. I am your host, Keith Johnson, also the founder of N.E.A.R, New England Anomalies Research. With me is my co-host and co-founder, Sandra Johnson.
I am that. Hello there. Not a ghost here.
I'd like to welcome our studio audience this evening.
This is cool.
Beautiful, fine people, and hello to Allison, who's back visiting us from South Australia. Allison!
Way down under.
Did you parachute in this time? Eh?
Swam.
Oh, swam. Yeah, I guess it's warmed up a
Very
bit.
good exercise.
Right. Well, let me introduce my guest and our alternate co-host, Carl Johnson, and the lovely Shannon Sylvia, who's back again. Applaud! Honored to have you back with us, Shannon.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but now you're back with us.
My, how you've grown.
Yes, I know. And maybe not too much, but...
Your hair grown.
You should win the Edward R. Morrow Award for that intro. It was just classic.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm not blocking her, am I?
He gets better with age.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Fine wine.
So, Shannon, tell us, what's been up? Sorry Jeff isn't with you tonight.
I'm sorry, too. He sends his love. Jeff is working tonight.
All right, everybody,
let's
1, 2, 3. Hi, Jeff! There, maybe he won't feel so left out now.
I can be your Jeff tonight.
No.
Well, however long you need me.
You don't want that.
Trust me, you don't want that. You really don't. So, Shannon, what's been going on? I understand you were busy yesterday.
You and
Yeah.
Carl, actually.
Yeah.
Tell us
Yeah.
all about it.
Aboard the USS Salem. That was quite a pleasant experience. A windswept day. It was very windy on that ship.
Yeah, it was a very windy day altogether, so I imagine on the ship it was...
Yeah, not a good day to fly a kite.
Well, we had a good time. Met some fine folks and did some networking. The ship is reputed to be haunted, and we went on a paranormal investigation for a time, my girlfriend Dina and I, and we did have an active investigation. I was shoved about. We heard a terrific crash.
Sure it wasn't the wind?
No. We were down below deck.
Okay, all right.
Third
I
level.
gotta say,
Third
Carl,
level
when you're
down.
around, things happen.
Don't they?
They really do.
Well, no, I thank Dina for it. Well, we just had the right combination of people, and I think it is haunted. I would say there's genuine activity there, and we saw some apparitions moving about around the back of the bunkers, and there were some things happening down there. Very interesting. We wanted to go back. Come back with us again.
Anytime.
Apart from the crowd.
Now, this wasn't actually your first trip to the SS Salem.
Probably my 6th or 7th time. We were actually there on Saturday, too. Jeff and I got up for the potluck dinner with all the guests from the psychic fair, and during the evening we took a tour of the ship for those that hadn't seen it yet, and I had witnessed my very first shadow person on the ship moving, and just as I said it, somebody else had said it too, and then a third person verified it. It was interesting because it was in a very well-lit area.
This was this past weekend?
Yeah, Saturday night. In the angel room, I was staring at something on the wall that I thought was dirt. So that's kind of strange. That shadow looks like dirt. And then it just walked away, and the dirt just walked away. The first thing I thought of was the dirt moving.
Walked away.
And I just exclaimed, "Oh my God, the shadow moved," and everyone's like, "Yep, we saw that too. Was it over there?" I said, "Yeah, it was over there." And
Our team
Very
witnessed several shadow people in motion, for lack of a better term, shadow-like forms moving around.
Well, where is the concrete proof? Where are your photographs?
I know it's
we
bring
don't
them.
have any.
Yeah, I have some really good EVPs.
Yeah, pictures, video. We want to
We
see
do
it.
have some interesting photographs that
I mean,
are
we
being
can take your word
uploaded.
for it, but
You'll
But
have
it
to
sounds
for
like it
now.
was a very active weekend. Was this very active compared to the way it usually is?
It's always active, believe it or not. And this Saturday night for me, it was about 7 or 8 o'clock when we started experiencing things. And this was during the day.
So during the daytime, it was, of course, very dark below levels, but we did experience phenomena. In the daytime, we're going back for an overnight, sometime to be determined within the next month. And the ship is docked in Quincy, Massachusetts. And there were burn victims and other tragic victims from an accident, from an explosion aboard the USS Newport News. And they were transported onto this ship. The dead and the dying were housed there down below, and they think that might have sparked the haunting activity.
Can you tell us any more about the history of the USS Salem?
Not too much. I believe that accident was in 1947, where there was an explosion aboard the ship. And it did not see active service during the World War II conflict, but it was a flagship and the admiral ship, so it had some prestige in the years following World War II. But now, of course, it's a museum, and people have recently found out that it does seem to have a haunting aboard. There's an entity that has named himself Frank that manifested in an audio recording, an EVP, electronic voice phenomena. So we address this entity as Frank. He seems very ornery, very resentful of people being there. And one of the mass paranormal team ship actually saw him as an apparition, reportedly, and half his face is scalded.
Oh.
So he's an upsetting visage to behold.
Yeah,
And
I would think so.
He's known as Frank, was it somebody asked in an
Somebody
EVP
asked,
session,
who
what is
are
your
you,
name?
who's
And
there?
he
And the
replied.
name Frank could be heard. So that's the name they go by.
It happened the night before, too. And a voice named Frank came into Gavin's head as he was walking around quite often. And I'll throw a little pop culture in. The ship was used for humanitarian purposes. It was never in war.
True.
The guns had never been fired, yet it was the first ship in history to ever carry a nuclear weapon. And it was on a very, very thick gel pad so that it would not move or shift or shake. You don't want that.
Right.
No, that wouldn't be good.
Prince Rainier and Grace Kelly were visitors on the ship, and the famous You Can Do It girl, the welder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? There was Rosie the Riveter, and there
The
was
Riveter.
Wilhelmina the
Right.
Welder, or
Yeah.
Willie the Welder? Short for
Willie the
Wilhelmina.
welder and Rosie the Riveter
And
were
Sandra the
real
Sander?
women. They were real women, and I had thought they were just pinup girls my whole life until the weekend when I saw in the museum. I finally, because being there during the day is completely different than investigating at night. You actually get to see things as opposed to what's with your flashlight. And I saw these photographs of these women with handkerchiefs over their heads with welding gear, torches. I said, what is this about? And Tom from Mass Paranormal had explained that these women built the ship. They welded the ship, including the two famous women there. And
They became icons of
yeah.
the war efforts. And interestingly, women were never allowed on the ship once it was commissioned and set sail because female presences would jinx the ship. That's a long-standing tradition. It's been broken since, but in those years it was thought it was bad luck, bad mojo to have women aboard a ship, even though the women contributed largely to building the ship.
Well, they didn't have women, and it turned out to be haunted, so...
yeah.
Kind of
That's
blows
in a
that theory,
nutshell.
doesn't it?
There's an apparition of a woman. The night that I was there, I was doing a radio show from on the deck, and I was leading a group, and I had to excuse myself for about a half hour. And of course, it was the perfect time. My whole group had come running upstairs. We saw a ghost. We saw a ghost. And they were
always the way.
I know, of course. And they were looking down the hall and saw a woman that looked like she was lost. And she was in white from head to toe, and she had pants and a shirt on and a satchel over her shoulder, like a handbag, a large bag full of stuff, and she was holding it like this. And she was looking at them confused, and they said, "Are you lost?" Because they thought she was a ghost hunter. And she looked at them again and just stared at them and walked right through the wall. The very night I was there. And everybody had said the same thing. They had all seen the same thing. She looked just like a regular person dressed in white clothing. They couldn't tell she was a ghost until she walked through the wall. So
They don't have
It
any
was-
sort of a ghost cam there, do they?
actually, Mass Paranormal at times will rig live cams so people can watch it live on the internet, but not permanently because, that would cost too much money to keep running
Right.
and people would have to monitor it. And they've had problems with break-ins. They've beefed up security since then, but their equipment kept going missing. There's a lot of Boy Scouts, a lot of people coming and going groups on the ship. So, but it's a good idea. It's also very difficult to do because wiring those up isn't as easy as it would be a home or a business where there's crevices. We're talking a solid battleship. So to run a wire all the way down one hall, you don't have a way to snake it down any particular way. It's just one way or the other and then up and down. So it's a task, but and it's also a 450-foot ship.
I believe it
I
is.
think.
Yeah, it's sizable.
It's
Big
sizable.
battleship.
Right. So when are you going back there again, either of you?
Well, there's an event on June 19th. I believe that's Friday, June 19th, We're invited back for then. That'll be an overnight investigation. There should be about 40 to 50 people there that night, but we received a separate invitation that we can arrange a date to go back prior to the 19th and maybe explore then, with only a few of us aboard at the time. Now, Fiona Broom, who is a well-known psychic and sensitive, she was there as well, and we went to the anchor room. She looked in there and she said, somebody died here of a heart attack, suddenly, of a heart attack. Somebody else died less pleasantly. Now, one of our tour guides affirmed that, yes, somebody did die suddenly of a heart attack in that room, just dropped dead, and they did not find him for 5 hours. Somebody else had died in that anchor room, but we don't know how. Dina was overcome at one point and collapsed and had to be helped up, and her face was white, and she had to be held out. Within minutes of another one of the crew from Mass Paranormal, one of the tour guides, Peter, he had to be brought out, too. He sickened suddenly. As soon as they went up on deck, they were fine, then they went back down. But it was an onrush of tension that preceded the headache and the dizziness.
Interesting.
It was that room I had seen, that shadow, moving to the anchor room.
Interesting.
I'll be back on there. There's a fundraiser event for the Wolves on the 5th of June, so I'll be back on the ship the 5th of June, and there's up to 50 tickets available for guests.
Wolves?
The Wolves, a wolf charity, because now that the wolves are off the endangered list, it's now legal to kill them.
Oh.
A good way to put them right back on that list. So we're trying
Sounds
to
similar
petition.
to Australia with the dingo problem, too. Yeah.
Dina owned a wolf for a time. She made a pet of it.
Really?
Of course, you can't have wolves legally in Rhode Island.
No.
But they're beautiful animals, intelligent.
Yeah, several years ago, and Fran was there. She remembers this. We were in Massachusetts and investigating at a family home where they actually had a wolf, and it was kind of a little too much wolf blood in it to be legal. But,
Yes.
you know, they had all the wolf icons all over and illustrations all over the house, too.
That's
You
one of the
remember that,
classics.
Fran? Oh, yeah. Brimfield. Yep, Brimfield, yep.
Well,
That's
it
a
sounds
worthy
like a
cause.
very worthy
Yes.
cause,
Yeah.
Shannon. And you're actually involved in some other causes that I know you'd probably like to talk about.
Sure.
I noticed just before we left here, I checked, and you had put up a blog.
Huh, which one?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I think it was the most recent one.
Latest blog.
Sift through Shannon's blog.
There were 3 today.
Oh, okay.
Well, I only noticed the most recent one, and then we had to leave. We're out the door. Some sort of a convention had been planned apparently in Milford,
Yes.
Connecticut, I believe.
Well, the gentleman was from Milford, New Hampshire.
Oh,
This is
New Hampshire,
interesting.
sorry.
JumpCon, yes. While we were filming for Ghost Hunters International, we were contacted. It was myself, Brian Hunwa, and Donna LaCroix. And, the spiel they gave us, you have to appear at our convention. We're the largest convention in the world. We are so financially stable. We've got unlimited budgets, and we want you to be there, and we got security and everything under the sun. So we all signed very fancy contracts with this person named Shane Center. And we were going to be sent deposits to come out and plane tickets a week before each event. Well, they signed us for 26 appearances, almost one every single weekend for 1 year in a different state across the country. And you know what they say about too good to be true? Probably not. So
Right.
about a week before my very first appearance, I called them and said, you know, I haven't been sent my expenses or my plane ticket, what's going on? And, well, we want you to, you know, we have to do some restructuring, and we need you to send us an essay on why you should be there and what you know about ghost hunting. And I'm thinking, what? I signed a contract, and we all did, and it started to get really shaky. And make a long story short, they canned every single event and said that they weren't selling enough tickets.
Oh.
And they had scheduled about 27 major celebrities to be there, talking people from the show 24, Star Trek, major names, which I thought was a little odd for a convention I never heard of. So I Googled them today and come to find out the man's been indicted.
Oh.
Just on April 29th on fraud and consumer fraud charges and a whole plethora of other charges. Finally, my heart just came right up through my mouth and said, thank God. And I called the attorney's office, U.S. Attorney's Office, and they said, well, do you need your money back for your ticket? And I said, oh, no. I was supposed to actually do 26 appearances. They said, oh, we may be able to use you in the lawsuit and put you on the stand because you were a witness and you signed a contract with these people. I said, I'm all yours.
But you've actually sort of made this a crusade of your own to sort of expose this, if I'm not mistaken.
I had already started that,
Yeah.
actually. Ironically, I just became the Massachusetts chapter of UPI, United Paranormal, and UPI stands for Paranormal Unity. If there's problems going on, stalking, harassment, any kind of negativity, people band together and do whatever we can peacefully to end it. And I couldn't be more honored to be part of that organization, and we've already made great waves in a very short period of time. And I was just ordained my title last night, so now I get my logo. And I feel very strongly about the cause because, as you know, and as everybody here who knows of me, for some reason or another, I'm always under attack by somebody. Ever since I began filming Ghost Hunters, I'm just an attack magnet.
You're safe in here with us. For the time
Nobody
being.
will attack you.
We love you, Shannon.
At least not for the next 17 minutes, they won't.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's hurtful. It's stressful, and
I
it's
think there's a lot of
unnecessary.
that in this field, and
Yeah.
it's just, nonsense.
Yeah.
And that happens.
That's something else that I wanted to touch on, too. Well, the last convention that we did, well, actually, the only convention that we've ever done with you that I know of, the one in West Virginia.
Yeah, just in March, yeah.
You were supposed to do a talk on, I think it was drama in the field, in the paranormal research field. And I think I think we tried to catch you when you did Patrick Burns'
I missed that.
We missed it again.
I sang. It was a multimedia presentation. It was a lot of fun.
You sang a song that you had written.
It was all about
correct?
paranormal drama. I sang a song for the very first time. I took some pretty big risks, but it was successful. It was a phenomenal topic. I had captivated.
Can we see this footage?
Patrick said it's probably up on US Stream or somewhere online. I'm trying to find it myself. But I'll be speaking about it on tour this year, so you'll catch it again.
Can you give us a little excerpt now?
Yeah.
You knew somebody was going to ask.
Well, I'll ask you to sing.
I'm not going to sing. No.
We already have that on the show. We're here
Sandra
for.
sang for us. Yeah.
I spoke. It was a great talk, and the reason why this one was so much different from last year is about the dangers of children investigating, because this one came from the heart. This one was something I knew everything about. So I can definitely say I'm an expert on paranormal drama. And I'm going to change my title on my MySpace. And paranormal drama expert.
Right.
And I talked about how it hurts people. Every single group has it, and everybody raised their hand when I said, who here knows what paranormal drama is and who's been through it? And I asked a lot of questions of the audience to try to get some feedback, because I'm learning too. And I talked about events like we just spoke about, going under, taking people's ticket money. Of course, you've heard about the big one that happened.
Right.
People are still owed thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
And they haven't even been sent an email that said, oops, we're sorry. I'm getting lots of complaints about that lately.
Apparently, many of the people who registered for that just are not getting reimbursed, and the legalities have come into
The
play.
money's not there. What do you do?
So,
Lost money.
It can do stuff. Unfortunately, you have to file something or contact somebody and make complaints, but the money should be there. The event never happened. Talked a little bit about that. We talked about some, radio shows, how things can come up, especially blogs. That was the biggest one we talked about, how blogs hurt people.
Yeah,
You get a whole army of people that will read somebody's blog, and then you got the whole army writing back saying, oh, so-and-so, we agree with you 100%, go blog. And then the poor person that blog was talking about doesn't get a chance to defend themselves, and if they do, they're engaging in the war. So you got one of two choices. You can engage back, or you can just take the high road like I'm trying to do lately, and just throw your arms up in the air and say, if that person's going to be that much of a jerk and blog about whatever, then let them have their soapbox and vent and whatever.
Absolutely.
Whether it's true or not, you just got to bite it. And I taught people what to do to get away from the drama, how to avoid the drama. We even talked about, I had a presentation behind me, some of the side effects of drama. Lost friendships, career problems, physical side effects of stress. My eye twitch I had for 3 months. So it was great. I loved speaking of that. There was so much to talk about. I could have gone on for hours and hours. I never called anybody out. I mean, of course you keep that out as much as I'd want to.
Right.
You got to hold it all in, which would defeat the purpose. I'm talking about in the first place. So it was good.
But I mean, even if you talk about it in generalities,
Yes.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's a very worthwhile topic
Yeah.
to speak on.
It brought out some of the sources. I held up a paranormal magazine and read some excerpts of the magazine. The magazine was actually picking on some of its own team members,
Oh,
and
not good-naturedly then.
Internecine
it was
warfare.
terrible.
Right.
And you should have seen everybody's faces. That was the best part.
Wow. The convention we were on, of course, you and Jeff were also inducted into the Hall of Fame.
As well as you.
Yep.
Excuse me.
I think you want these,
Here comes that cold.
do you?
I know I get that out here
Yeah.
sometimes.
We've actually got some things here we want to... It's too bad we didn't tell you we were going to show these, because I know you and Jeff, as Keith said, got these too.
It's very sweet
Yeah,
that they did that for you
They're
guys.
souvenirs from one of the conventions we were on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paranormal Hall of Famers, are we? Something?
Yes.
And read
Yes.
it in recognition for... Come on.
Oh.
I can't read it from here.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, but
I can read it for you.
in recognition for outstanding work in the field of paranormal investigation, American Paranormal Group, and
Proudly inducts me, and
See? Yeah, I want-
Keith,
yep.
and Shannon, and
yeah,
Jeff.
yeah, see?
And I was very pleased that Jeff was one of the people to receive
Yes.
awards, because he doesn't get a lot of the recognition because he hasn't been on a television program.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Jeff
but he-
Belanger.
Yeah, well, he does get recognition.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about another
Oh, I'm
Jeff
sorry.
here. But he is a very accomplished investigator, and I don't think that a lot of people realize that.
He's very humble. He's very humble, so he doesn't complain about not being in the limelight. He calls himself Mr. Shannon Sylvia.
Oh,
I hate that.
That's really
well, he doesn't
very
get
humble of him.
recognition. Let's amend that. Everybody again? Hi, Jeff. See?
It's cute. He just started up investigating with me when I got off the road. I did make him a promise, and I've kept it. When I was on the road, I said, I promise you, baby, when I come home, you are not leaving my side when I do this. And he said, oh, fun. And I wanted nothing more. And you know how great it is to have a sidekick with you investigating.
Yes, I do.
It's just, you don't have to go home and rehash everything of the night's events
Right.
all over again. They were there. So it's great. I mean, I got my best friend in the whole world with me. And
That's wonderful.
it's such a great thing. I just prayed and prayed and prayed for years that he would just want to do this. And then something dawned on him, and he said, yes, I'm actually interested in now in seeing what it is that you've been doing for years. And he caught on so quickly.
Mhm.
I didn't even really have to train him very much. He
Natural.
asked me questions a lot. But
And he had technical know-how.
he has
too.
the technical know-how, and it's not rocket science, but he can hook up a DVR blindfolded and run wires, and which is the hard, it's the tedious work.
Right.
And he's great, and he knows how to work cameras, and he's very good at listening and taking notes, remembering facts, which I'm terrible at. And he's very loaded with courage is the word. He will do anything. He's fearless. He'll go right into that.
Moundsville Prison, that was an interesting
He,
experience.
yeah, well, somebody else had one too, but Jeff will go in any morgue, he'll go lay down in the cooler where they were laying dead, and he'll do anything.
Well, we need people like that
Yeah.
in the field.
Because I won't. So,
We almost didn't get back overnight from that convention either.
I know,
because of severe thunderstorms. We're almost
It's always an adventure.
Yeah.
don't make me go there, please.
Sounds familiar, stuck overnight in the airport.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
I'm sorry, my flights are what? They're canceled?
Yeah.
Sometimes that weather just will not
I'll tell you, we had
cooperate.
divine intervention though. 'cause
Yes,
our
yeah.
flight,
I was praying that this would,
when an
Get out of
airport
there.
tells
These
you...
prayers are always answered.
It was, I could not believe it. And the only reason why I really wanted to go home was to just not deal with Brian Hanwha and his near stroke symptoms of not being able to get on a plane. But
Yeah,
I want to get him
very
home.
well with that.
Yes.
I didn't care about me. Let's just get Brian
Yeah,
home.
that's right, yeah.
Please get him home to Michelle.
Well, you'd have to talk in Star Wars lingo to kind of,
Uh,
pacify him.
Yeah, either sedate him or Speaking Klingonese.
And if George Lucas is watching this, Brian wants to talk about him with some character development.
Yes, are you out there somewhere, George? Brian Hanwell.
George catches the show regularly.
He has some good points, Brian does, so he said he would like to.
Maybe
if ever a convention George Lucas is there, he'd like to. So, Mr. Lucas, if you're listening,
that'd be cool.
Brian has some questions.
Brian has some poignant questions, yes.
Yeah, but we did get out of the airport. The airport had told us the entire East Coast was shut down. Your flight has been canceled. And I don't know, this is where divine intervention comes in, but we just walked right out, away from the ticket counter, and I expressed a message to you guys, and we walked right onto a plane and flew home on time, like nothing happened.
Yeah. Well, I had already, if you remember, I'd already sacked out. I was like, all right, well, we're going to be here, so I put my head on Pete's shoulder, and
you guys are like total beanbags, so you're just like...
I figured if you guys can take care of it, fine. If not, I'm going to sleep.
Before Jeff is like, we're going to go to Philly and we're going to rent a car and drive home 7 hours and I'm going to do it. And I haven't slept for 36 hours and we can do it. And we're like, yeah, right.
Well, I always say, believe it or not, almost
I'm
out
not
of
kidding.
time.
Really?
We had made plans to do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Fortunately, it worked out.
Quickly, any Ghost Hunters International stories you'd like to relate?
Nope.
Nope, okay. Been there, done that, right?
That was last show.
Right.
There'll be another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. There's always something going on.
They're filming again, and you'll see some new faces. And I'm still in touch with everybody, and it's all good and dandy. And wish them the best of luck on the road.
Good.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if we actually mentioned. Did we mention that we were supposed to have Donna with us?
Yes,
today?
but she had a family emergency, and so she wasn't able to make it. So next time,
Donna will be back.
See ya, Donna dear, we will. We'll get you back
Hope
on.
everything's
We
all
will
right,
get
Donna.
you here, Donna,
Yes.
no matter what we have to do.
Yes. Incidentally, this show this evening is dedicated to the late, great Hans Holzer.
Oh.
And Alexandra, our love and prayers go out to you. So let's hear it for
Mr.
Hans,
Recently
wherever he
passed
may
away.
be.
Many
Great man in
contributions
the field.
on his part
Absolutely.
to the field of paranormal investigation. He was a pioneer in paranormal investigation, coined the term ghost hunting, parapsychology.
Yeah, we owe
Did
so much in the field to him that a lot of people don't realize. And
He
you're a
set
friend
the
of
standard.
Alexandra's too, and great lady.
I know it. Everyone talks about pioneers in the field. They think of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who obviously were pioneers, but let's not forget Hans Holzer as well, who contributed so very much.
Yeah. Grew up studying him.
He lived a long, good life. Thank
Yes,
God.
he did. Yep, he did. Bless him. Well, I guess that's our show for this evening.
I guess it is.
Okay.
Can I just give our contact
Please
information?
Please do.
We have the N.E.A.R case manager at inbox.com. You'll get Lisa DeWallaby and let's see, Renee Smith, Nathan Mayer, and if you want to contact us directly, it's ghostonear@cox.net. And we can Google Shannon, or if you'd like to give some contact information, go for it.
Can I do the M word?
The M word, you can do whatever you would like.
You don't know
It's
what
not a
M word she has waiting for us.
Well, yeah, you'll find
Right. The Shannon Sylvia.
I don't think she's that hard to
Right.
find.
Thanks so
No,
much
she's
for being
around.
our guest again.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful having
Thank
you.
you, Shannon.
Look forward to having you back again.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
God bless.
Oh, this is the fun part.